I seek to speak from the heart for the next few minutes and simply share the teachings of the medicine and my experience to you all. Hello. Last night I had the privilege of sitting with Mother Plant Medicine for my second ceremony ever. The first one was a couple years ago and I made a video about it. I'll probably link it down below. But my life has changed a lot since my first ceremony. During the first one, it was in the United States. I was on my bike tour. I was a traveler. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't even have Maggie. It was a few months before Maggie. Didn't have this on my body. I'm a different person. And it was a much different experience. And I'm so excited to just share, not even revelations, but just share the teachings of the medicine, of what was reprogrammed in me last night, what the medicine had me thinking and feeling. And today has been a day of reflecting. Plant medicine like this, the work is done in the ceremony, and then you process and contemplate and realize the work, at least for me, as the days and months and years go on. It's beautiful. So my first ceremony was very different than this one. Now that I have a girlfriend and dogs and live in Costa Rica, I'm not traveling anymore, so it makes sense that much different teachings were downloaded last night. And so I'll start with the overarching, the biggest message from this ceremony was slow down, relax, and stop taking yourself so seriously. It was telling me that all the things that I work so hard for in my life, even the things that I really believe in, like I'll even tell you right now, I believe in them, like compassion to animals and sustainability and having fruit trees and like having a girlfriend and a family one day and wanting to, make money to provide for myself. Like even the most basic stuff is a fucking joke. Wow. Because the only real meaning in life for me, through my experiences, what is really true, like everything else is just like kind of a human attempt at living a modern life, right? We accept, we gotta get into a relationship, we should stay dedicated to that person, we should have a few outfits and we have a style, you're allowed to question everything in your life at every moment and abandon everything and switch it up. Because the only contract you signed when your parents birthed you into this world is for you to enjoy your human experience, and then you're gonna die in just 50, 60, 70, 100 years. And humans have been around for a tiny millisecond of the Earth's existence. So just stop taking stuff so seriously. And, I share a lot in my videos, not only with, plant medicine, do I think this way, but yeah, trying to deprogram the expectations about how we're supposed to live, how we're supposed to act in our world. But last night it really, really hit me that we're all just doing the best we can, and we're all so hypocritical and complicated, and it's not our faults. We were born into this world that's just full of contradictions. There's too many of us. We can't change that. So it's just yin yang is the medicine for me, because at one moment you feel the power of community and the power that you have in your life experiences, and you're like, wow, this life is rich and it's intense and I love my family so much. And then a second later, I would maybe turn and literally the medicine will do other stuff when you kind of move your body and digest in a certain way. And I would just feel so connected and meaningful, and then just be brought to almost a tearful laugh, but I actually didn't cry. My first ceremony was very cathartic. It was very centered around pain and healing trauma, which is beautiful and it was amazing. But this one was like much more playful, and it would like make me feel connected and meaningful, and we have this purpose, and then just completely slap that out of the way, and I would just laugh and realize how ridiculous our existence is, how we're parasites to the planet, but like we pretend to be spiritual and cool. I mean, I was laughing at how much I love Maggie. I was laughing crazy how I just tattoo my body with weird stuff. Like, what? I spend money and it hurts, and I think it's so cool, and we're just like these animals designing our flesh that's ephemeral. Wow. So you might be hearing this and be like, I don't get it. Why is that crazy? And plant medicine, not only plant medicine, Kundalini yoga does this, meditation, mindfulness, just reading about how we've been brought up in this world that doesn't necessarily need to be the world that we operate in. And plant medicine simply really reinforces in a very intense and truthful way these ideas of deprogram, reprogram, reach for the stars. This life doesn't matter, but it does matter, so you should go do whatever you want, but it doesn't matter, so don't be afraid to take risks, because even if you fail and you're a human being with some family members that love you and you have some clothes, maybe an iPhone, and you just failed in something, how lucky are you that you were the sperm that got into the egg, and now you're able to experience emotion and feeling? Because if there's no true meaning, we're all gonna die, and I believe that there is no Jackson who remembers this life transitioning, reincarnating into another life form. I'm not there yet spiritually. I believe that we are products of a random amalgamation of evolution and bacteria and water and heat, and now we're living this human experience, which has only been around, as I said, tiny fraction of the earth and the universe's existence. And it's just an experiment. Might be a failure, but it's no one's experiment. It's just like we literally, I mean, I got educated in this stuff. If you believe in some religious view, that's cool, do your thing, but I'm just telling you the science. Literally, you're here from a little marine bacteria that billions of years ago was in the ocean, and somehow over time, literally those cells got smarter, then they got on land, then they hung out and they figured stuff out, and now we're here. That's real. So how can there be any big meaning? Like, an asteroid came and wiped away the dinosaurs when they were the dominant species on the planet. And then they're gone. There's no more anymore. It's gonna happen to us too. There's asteroids that could hit at all times. Hi, Malu man. So how can there be some big meaning if we can just get wiped out by corona, by whatever? We're just pretending to have this meaningful life, and that's so beautiful, and that's funny, because if we don't pretend to care and that our life's important, then we're just going to be depressed and do drugs, and then life is boring, and that's fine. I don't think there's a meaning, but I like to live life invigorated. You know, I have times in my past when I'm upset and I'm not tuning in to truth and to source of just present gratitude to feel and eat and at all times. Everything else is a distraction, because when I spend all day on my phone and then, oh, I didn't get this many likes, and that brings negative vibes. And the plant medicine really reminded me that everything's a distraction other than focusing on the truth, which is you're an animal experiencing the world, and this shit is crazy. You know how much life there is in every single thing, from water to calories and energy to bacteria and viruses and scary stuff and fungi. Look at all the tiny little critters and termites and ants that are in every single thing. And if you spent some time observing it, like, how cool could your life be versus spending all day on Instagram and at work and on your computer and like eating junk food and distracting yourself with literally everything other than truth, which I think truth is just Om, it's connectedness, it's yoga, it's feeling fucking good. So instead of doing things that distract you, which are material world tells us to do, right? Work hard, study hard, stick up for yourself. I think the meaning of life is to figure out how this sprout and this moss is on this tree. And sure, I can use the internet and talk to people who know more, but I can also just observe. You know how much more worthy it is spiritually and just for your fucking life? Because I don't think anything matters. As long as you got like a business and you're safe, of course you got to work in the material world. Well, you don't have to. I know some people that don't. It's not the life I want. I'm a material person in many ways. But if you live fully in the material world, that brings too much suffering. So I have to, as much as I can, put myself in the truth, which is observance. And then when you observe and you see the little hairs of the fungi, you're like, wow, that's so cool. And I wonder what that does to my body. And I wonder what this community is. And then you see the community of ants working together, and you go out and see your friends in your house. And you're like, we're all the same thing. We're all just like buzzing around, doing our thing, kind of being together, working towards a goal. Spirituality for me is just understanding connectedness and unity and yoga, and that we're all just made of stars, which is a astronomical fact. We all come from stardust before the Big Bang. We're just exploded atoms all exchanging in each other. So like, why get distracted with ego? And like, you're never gonna be the best at anything. There's always gonna be someone sexier, taller, harder working, better friends, just cooler Instagram. So what I've chosen to do, and thanks to this plant medicine, is work so hard in the material world to make my life fun. So I have, you know, love and friends and a nice place and beautiful views, and I can eat my food from my land and be sustainable. Yeah. Like that's material world shit. But you know, it's pretty good material world shit. I think I've done a pretty good job. It's not like I get off buying cars and working some office job. No, I'm into sustainability, but that's even, you could call that a distraction when you feel what the medicine teaches you, which is like life is just about present moment, every breath. Oh my God, life is good. I'm here. And then you're just gonna stay vibing all the time because it's the truth. If you think about why we're here and you sit with plant medicine, and it tells you, it makes you feel how crazy and wild it is that you're experiencing this, and how meaningless everything is, because it's all relative. Some stuff's meaningful to you, different to me. So there's no answers. It's all messy too. It's all messy. She just slaps you around and gets you to think about one thing and then completely takes that out. And it's just real life. Like, you know, we feel like we should always be normal and stable and on time. It's like, dude, I hate being on time. What? And like, yeah, you might be saying, yeah, we got to be on time because you need to make money to have your family and you got a job. And like, that is true, and I completely resonate with that, and I am super privileged, and I also benefit off of so many things in the material world. I'm using an iPhone because people are just going away in an office. I get it, but that's also the medicine. I'm a huge hypocrite. Like, I love sustainability, and I love animals, and I drive my fucking car to the farmer's market, probably hitting a bunch of bugs and some birds and God knows what. God, which is everything. Nature knows. We're just doing the best we can, and it's never going to be good enough, because my science background, you know, teaches me that we're parasites. Like, you know, I don't know where this was grown, the cotton for this shirt, so it was probably used GMOs, there's probably pesticides that polluted a river, and I bought it. I patronized someone who was doing shit that I'm not about, but I think I'm a good person doing the best I can. And yeah, she reminds you that you're the same as everyone. Someone you see, and you know, I'm healthy and fit and vegan. When I go through my community and see someone who looks sick and probably doesn't have the awareness of mindfulness and meditation, maybe even sustainability, and they're eating processed foods, and I see people, you know, throw chip bags and bottles out the window, and in that moment my ego says, fuck that person. I do better than that shit. They should care. But I clearly don't care enough about so many things, even though I believe in not using fossil fuels. Well, I went home to visit my friends and family after not being in the States for 2 years because I wanted to, using fossil fuels. Here, I'm at a rental house. We're not on solar energy yet. I could camp on my land, but I want to be in my house and upload videos because I'm just doing the best I can and I'm a hypocrite. And thank you for acknowledging that and the medicine teaching me that, because if we think we're actually good ever, I think we're in a narcissistic delusion, because every wild animal on the planet balances its ecosystem and doesn't use fossil fuels. And you think you're good, or I think I'm good, and I use fossil fuels all the time, which is the number one reason we have the greatest species extinction in our human history. We're crazy, we're so complicated, and we've accepted so many things that are so violent and destructive, but we think that we're entitled to them. And I do not think that anymore. And I know I've benefited so much off of the material world and this hypocrisy. I keep saying it. None of this is me trying to say I'm good. I'm just trying to share with you like how I feel about us and the world. I think you're so beautiful and you're so awesome and you're educating yourself on something amazing right now to get out of your comfort zone and your mind space. But I think real happiness happens when we do the right stuff and we slow down and we're less productivity minded and we're less material focused, and we try to gain so much joy in our messiness and do the best we can and just breathe and do yoga. Like literally everything else is a distraction. When I'm gardening, and listening to a podcast, like even my head is going a little bit. And then when I get on my yoga mat and I just, the feelings that go through me when I slow down, be more tranquil, and simply tune in to just me connected to all, I can't do it enough. Like I try to do it, an hour in the morning. I do yoga and then like 20 minutes of meditation. And then I'll maybe do another session, like before bed. And all day I'll try to tune in, and it's still not enough, which just shows me through my plant medicine and just through my everyday life that everything I do is a distraction, and that's okay, because I don't want to let people down. I don't want to let even my ego down, which is crazy, but my parents down and my friends. And I could just keep biking and live on a bicycle and not build a nice house and not host events and retreats, which is going to cost, you guys got to fly here to come enjoy this. But you know what? Fuck it. I want to hang out with you, and I want to have fruit trees, and I'm going to do the best I can to not be harmful. And I'm going to employ you guys and people who want to come work and volunteer so that we can be a community. You guys can work, and I can, of course, I work so freaking hard. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I don't stop. Natalia was making fun of me because after, the ceremony last night, today is all about being grounded and rejuvenating and processing and slow and look in nature, of course, just when your body's still sensitive with the medicine. But yeah, where was I? It's just, I am an ego too, of course. I pretend to be so good because I'm into biking and sustainability and veganism, but it's even ego-based in some ways to want to open up a beautiful center and show people this great lifestyle when you're not even going to influence a significant amount of people on the planet. You guys might think this is cynical and depressing. I just don't think any of it is. I think it's truth. I think for us to think that we have like a purpose and we can work hard and do it well and succeed, or we can be like lazy and not do it well, I think that's total human 21st century delusion. And I think whatever ends up happening, just try as much as you can And again, I'm not telling you anything. This is what the medicine was telling me. Slow down. Question all of your path. Even if you've been working on something for years and you think it's your passion, take one day to try all day to convince yourself that it's not the right thing to do. And then you'll know and maybe figure out something that's an even better path. We tell stories in our minds, in our material world, and they sabotage us from the truth. Because the truth is to stay grounded, to have a little community, and to look at them every day and love them and support them and be good to the earth, but also just meditate, connect, observe nature without any reward or any benefit that you're expecting. Because if you fully distract yourself in the material world and goals and possessions and things, I know that's brought me a lot of pain. And remembering that just the fact that there is nature and you have a heart and you're alive, so fun, so great. Thank you for listening to this. These videos are wild because I could talk about a million things when it comes to medicine and ceremonies and the community and what happened after and the beautiful connection with new friends, but it's been long enough. There's a motorcycle up there. This is my rental house, don't worry. My land is much more off the road and quiet, but it's just a few more minutes into the valley. And yeah, we're building on it. We're building my material world beautiful house. I'm gonna have a pool, but we're gonna do it solar. We got spring water, solar heaters, saltwater pool. You know, my whole life is realizing I'm in this material world and I'm using this iPhone and stuff, but I'm trying to teach people to be sustainable and do it the right way. Oh my God. Oh, it's so crazy. So crazy how yin yang and diluted and just messy everything is. And thank you. And whenever I feel like my life should be less messy, like, oh, I should have things more organized. What do you mean? Does any animal have things organized, or are they living in the present moment and they could die and they take risks and they fucking go for it every day? That's what I want to do. I want to go every day and just go for it and be in nature and be in waterfalls, and maybe one day an anaconda will get me. Or maybe I'll be vibing too hard on a high line, slack line, and I'll fall and break my neck. And I'm fine with that because I don't think I'm leaving anything behind, because I didn't sign a contract to be anyone to anyone other person other than myself. So if anything I do lets somebody down, that's just their problem, because I'm just doing the best I can. And we all have different beliefs and none of us are right. It's just different beliefs. So this is my belief and nothing's real. It's just ideas. And thank you, everybody. Namaste. I love medicine, and I'm so grateful for plant medicine, and I use it very, very seldomly and sacredly. And another beautiful thing that medicine always inspires me to do is to get much healthier and pure, because purity and awareness is the answer. Distractions are not. So you guys know I like cannabis. I'll like to have a craft beer. I'll like my strong coffee in the morning. I love listening to my podcasts and keeping them in all the time. And plant medicine reminds me to do all those things less and get more into truth and nature and in the moment. So I feel so good and healthy and, clear and not distracted. I have no stimulants or no drugs or anything going through me. I love that stuff. Again, there's no answer to this world. So if you want to get drunk, I love to get drunk and do drugs. Sometimes it's all beautiful. I love it. Do anything you want to do. But I know for me that purity is the best. What I mean, nothing's pure, right? Everything's perfect. What I mean by purity in this sense of the word is just taking all the stimulation out. No cannabis, no alcohol, no tobacco, no exciting news like slow down, Malu man was a dog on the street full of fleas and ticks, and I found you on a plantain roadside store. And I said, do you want to come home with me and Maggie? And now you're my Malu man. And this moment is all I've ever had. And it's so good. I love you, Malu. The more gentle we can be, the better. You realize people who are aggressive or care about stuff and get offended are just like not tuned in. And like, I care so much about stuff. So whenever I'm talking about, you know, the environment and angry about how people live in the world, I'm just speaking in my material ego mind. But I always hold another truth. And remember, yin yang, both things can be true at the same time, because there's no such thing as truth. So everything's true at the same time, because it's all your opinion, man. But yeah, I love you, Malu. I'm also okay if you go, because I am me, and if I can breathe, I know I'm okay. And life is suffering, and then you die. So to think that I want Malu to be around forever, my girlfriend to love me forever, or for my pumpkin to be warm for dinner forever, then I'll have suffering. So I expect everything to crumble, and everything is messy, and everything is chaos, and thank you for that. And so that means that every moment of joy and that isn't pain and suffering is icing on the cake. So imagine if you could move through your life that way, like I truly do. I mean, when people who I love in my material world come to me with issues or complaints or problems, I hold space for them in the material world, while also knowing in the back of my head that nothing is wrong. I can do no wrong. I am perfect. The person in front of me is perfect, and there's no even real problems. I've lost a lot of loved ones this year, more than ever in my life, like times 5 or something crazy. It's been a crazy 12 months, and that's brought me, of course, loss and sadness. It's real. I'm not saying don't care, but I am saying care about the real world, while always in the back of your head, know that caring is just a distraction, because you're gonna die and we're all gonna die. So why would we be sad when somebody dies or something changes, if we all know intellectually every single thing changes? And that's a Buddhist philosophy. Thus, nothing is real. This glass is real as shit, and it's gonna be the same glass tomorrow, but one day this is going to be crumbled up and literally end up as sand in the ocean as it crumbles and breaks, and then goes to a landfill or gets recycled, and someone puts it somewhere and some chips off, and then rain comes and for years or months gets washed into the riverways, and then it's in the ocean. So this thing's going to be a part of the ocean. It's not real. It's only existing now, and later it won't. So real things are always. So nothing is real. So you can do no wrong. So just keep tuning in, keep questioning, keep being love focused, try to reduce the ego. Plant medicine helps. Good high vibe communities help. Talking to your friends helps instead of just plugging into your phone. Yoga, whatever. Pura vida. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope this provided you something in your life. That's all I'm here to do. I'm just here because I know I live a crazy, spiritual, connected, privileged life. And I just love for you guys to be a part of it, and we can connect. And I can't wait for whoever's watching this right now is going to come in the next year, 2, 3, to one of my retreats here to feel these vibes together. Wow. I could like cry. Hell yeah. Pura vida. Much love. Dream extreme. Dream, dream, dream. Do anything you want and abandon it whenever you want. You can do no wrong. Love you.